Hey everybody, this is Jorge, and welcome to another edition of Speed Commentary. Originally, I wanted to show you guys the actual inking of a comic, but I went and I inked this comic and I recorded the inking, and what happened was the files got corrupted. So instead of the inking, I'm going to show you guys the lettering process. So right now, I don't know, there's not really much to tell about the lettering process. Each lettering is put into its own frame, and that's just how the default settings in Adobe CS4 work. You'd see I have, I just go back and forth from the Adobe document to my Microsoft Word so I can take a look at the problem. I mean, not that, I'm reading what's in front of me and saying it. Yeah, as I'm getting older, that's become a problem. Yeah, so it's just a matter of taking the text from my script and throwing it into the comic. There's very little deviation. I will change things, like if I find the way I drew it, I just don't have enough space at the font size that I use for things. Like sometimes I'll shorten things, or if I realize I have more space, I'll add something in, or I'll add a line of dialogue if I think it's funny. But generally, it's just a copy paste straight from the script into the Photoshop document or project. So yeah, what you're seeing, like there's a lot of, it's not a lot of work, but just some resizing of the text and just to make sure that one, there are no breaks where like the OC dash occurrence, and making sure the text is set up so that a bubble can easily fit around there. So that's really the only concern at this stage, just trying to set things up in a place where there's some empty space and to make sure that I can fit bubbles around them. Not much to go on. I guess before I get to the next stage, we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in the comic. Mentioned last time that Rowdy, after Jorge's longest triathlon ever, magically became thin, and we get to see in this comic how he went about doing that. So we have a little, flashback to Fat Rowdy here, and really not much more to tell about it. Rowdy decided to go the easy way and get rid of something he really wasn't using in order to lose the weight. So I guess it's kind of spoilers if you haven't read the strip. So that's kind of a pain, but I'm assuming if you're watching this, then you read the strip and you've already read the strip because this is coming out the day after the strip. So then I don't know if I can figure out another way to say strip. I put that line of dialogue there specifically because I didn't like how I drew Satan's pitchfork. So just had that because I knew I'd draw a bubble to cover it up because I really didn't like how I drew it at all. So now you can see I've created a new layer and I'm calling it the bubble layer. I'm drawing with one of the selection tools, bubbles, and filling them with white. Here's one of them where I'm creating two bubbles because I didn't want to make a lot of white space by having a bubble that goes around all of that. So get to maintain some of the color in the document. One of the things also you can see I've hidden the background layer with all the color. I just find it easier to type in the text to see what I'm doing without having all the color in the background. It just makes the text a little easier to see. I gotta tell you, there's probably no one watching this, but I just love the shit out of watching myself work. It's so meta and weird. There's my little toilet portal of hell. I am happy and disappointed with it all at the same time. So a little about what's going on in the strip. There's only going to be two more before we take our little hiatus. So, and then I'll be going into finishing chapter 1 of Pandemonium before we start back up with Proof God Hates Me. Here I'm using the lasso tool to create the arrows of the comics. Not much more to tell than that. Just creating the selection with the lasso tool and then right-clicking to get the fill in. There's something that I will be explaining. Like I've got the one arrow cutting over Jorge there. And there is a specific way in which I am going to fix that, because you never really want to have your main characters have arrows going across them. So I'll show you exactly how I go about fixing that in a moment once we get there. All right, so now what you're seeing right now is me doing the stroke to put a black line around everything. So you can see now I've got my black line around everything. So I'm bringing up the... So what I did there is I took the line art and I put it on top of the arrows and the bubbles. And you can see I'm using that as a guide to erase the arrow. So now instead of being over Jorge, the arrow is going behind him. So that's it for Strip 98. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys keep coming back for more. We should have another one of these speed commentaries out next week after the next comic is produced. So thanks for coming by, people. See ya.